Hi, my name's Will. I'm a co-pilot for a long-haul cargo airline in Germany, based out of Frankfurt and Leipzig. We fly for DHL and Lufthansa Cargo. When I left King's, I studied politics and German at Bristol University, and I did a third year abroad in Germany working in the office for an airline over here. What I'd say about that is that to become a pilot, a degree is not necessary. It's good to have, and it does not necessarily have to be in something engineering based or science based. It can be really anything, as long as it functions more just to add to your CV and to work as a bit of a backup in case things don't go to plan. Yeah, so becoming a pilot was basically all I ever wanted to do since I was very young, which meant that I had a clear path, so to speak. So in terms of getting work experience and that sort of thing, I always knew which direction to head in. And I was in the CCF while I was at King's, and I considered the military for a while, joining the RAF, but decided against it ultimately, and then went more in the civilian direction, and then ultimately cargo. So what I enjoy most about the job, aside from the flying, which is a lot of fun, even if it is long stretches on autopilot, there is a lot more to it than that. But the travelling is also quite something. Even at the moment, we don't see much of the destinations. We tend to just see the hotel. It's the sights from 35,000 feet which really make it. So when your body is telling you it's 4 a.m, but it's the middle of the day and you're looking out over Mongolia or somewhere like that, or seeing Shanghai at night, these things are pretty special, especially at the moment when travelling is so heavily restricted. In addition, the camaraderie in the cockpit is always very good. We're a very friendly airline. We're still small enough that one knows a lot of people there, but big enough so that it's there are still new people who you've never met before, and new people to work with on each flight. The challenges of getting into aviation at the moment are very obvious. There is a very small demand for pilots at the moment. However, that will pick up. From most estimates tend to say it'll be in the next 4 to 5 years or so, we'll be back in the same place we were before the crisis, and that is with a massive pilot shortage. So that shouldn't be a reason to not do it. I would advise, though, doing a degree in the meantime. I did it back when there was a massive demand for pilots. I took that extra time, those extra 4 years, and it was worth it. I'm glad I have it on board. So that's definitely something to do. And like I say, it does not have to be anything even vaguely aviation related. It's just it's there, something else you're interested in, and it functions as a bit of a backup, and it's just good to have. Aside from that, challenging is the jet lag. The bags under the eyes become pretty much a permanent fixture. You get over it very quickly, but one notices that it does take a toll on your body, but it's definitely worth it. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing. So my advice for people wanting to become a pilot now, aside from getting a degree, is probably to head across to Europe as opposed to the UK for pilot training. The effects of Brexit are unfortunately going to be massively detrimental to the UK aviation industry, and a lot of the jobs will be moving to Europe in the long term anyways, so I wouldn't bother sticking about there. There are plenty of good schools across in Europe where the courses are all done in English. One doesn't necessarily need another language, and because it tends to be people coming from many other countries, then English will be the spoken language in the course. So for that, in that sense, perhaps studying a language would be useful, but it's definitely not a must. But definitely, I would not say there's much point sticking around in the UK for pilot training these days.